Hello everyone, my name is Abu Bakr Salim and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about a very important concept in C++ language, and it is known as loops. Now, whenever we want to print something again and again, or whenever we want to repeat a task again and again until specific number of times, we use a loop. Let's suppose we want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up till 100. Now there are multiple ways to it. The first way is that we write C out and we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on till 100, which will take a lot of time. The second way is that we create a variable, assign it value 1, then we create another variable, assign it value 2, and we'll have to create multiple variables till 100. So we'll have to create 100 variables from 1 to 100, and it will again become a very large task. And let's suppose you want to repeat something million times, you'll have to create million variables. So you can think how much big task it's going to be. So instead of doing that, we can use another method which is known as loop. Now in C++ and in every other language, loops are available, and the purpose of loops are to repeat some statements again and again until the condition becomes false. Now in C++, there are three loops that we can use, and I will be discussing the first loop and the second loop in this video. The first loop is while loop, and the second loop is do while loop. So, while loop, let's suppose we want to print first 100 natural numbers in C++. I'll be writing this in comment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up till 100. So if we want to write this via program, then we can use a loop, a while loop, to solve this problem. Now, whenever we are using a while loop or whenever we are solving a problem with the help of a loop, we have to identify three things. The first thing is the starting point. The second thing is the ending point, and the third thing is the gap between every previous and the next value. So in this case, the starting point is going to be 1 and the ending point is going to be 100, and the gap between every preceding number is 1. So we can observe that the starting value is going to be 1, the last value is going to be 1, and the increment is also 1. So I will be assigning the starting value in a variable. Starting value was 1, so I have assigned it into the variable. After that, I'll be using while loop. Now, syntax of while loop is very simple. We have to first write the keyword while, and after that, we have to implement the condition in the bracket. Now, we know that the ending point is 100, and we want to repeat this loop until the value of I is less than or equal to 100. As soon as the value of I exceeds 100, we want to stop this loop. So I will write the condition here, I is less than equal to 100. That is why I identified the last value also of this sequence, which was 100, because I will have to use that value in the condition. Now, uh, I is less than equal to 100, and let's say I want to print now this whole sequence, cout, the first value that I want to print is 1, and 1 is the value of I at the moment. So I'm going to write this, and let's print some space here as well. After that, we identified one more thing in the sequence, and that was I, the difference between the first and the second number, and the difference between the second and the third number, which is same, which is 1. So we will have to increase the value of I by 1 unit. Now, when I will execute the program, we'll see the output on the screen, which is going to be the sequence starting from 1 and ending at 100, and the gap between every number is going to be 1. So you can see the output on the screen. Then the sequence starts from 1, the ending point is 100, and the gap between every number, between the preceding number and the previous number, is 1. Let's suppose you want to increase the gap. In this case, the output is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and the last value is going to be 100. So you'll have to find out, and you have to tell me in the comment section that why 100 is not being printed. I'll be waiting for your answers. Let's solve one more example of while loop and understand this concept in detail. Um, let's suppose we want to print a table of a number, or let's suppose we want to print the factorial of a number. Now, the factorial in maths, I think you guys are familiar with this thing. 6 factorial is equal to 6 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 is equal to, I think it's equal to 720. I'm not sure, but I think it's equal to 720. 6 multiplied by 5, 30, 120, yeah, 360 and 720. So it's correct. So let's suppose you want to create a program which finds the factorial of a given number, and we are going to uh, create an interactive program in this case. So user will enter the number, and we'll have to calculate the factorial. So let's suppose we have created a variable, and I'm going to assign. Sorry, I haven't assigned anything to this variable. I'm going to make this program interactive. Enter number, cin, and number will be entered. After that, let's say that we want to multiply these numbers, and I'm going to create a variable, and I am going to assign it a value 1. So why I have done that? Because we want to multiply a number and store the value in this number. So if I will assign it 0, the value of this PRO variable will never change. But if I will assign it 1 and it will multiply it with number, the value will change and we can update the value. That is why I am assigning 1, and the answer is going to be correct. So we will also create another variable I is equal to 1, or we can say I is equal to number, because in this case the starting point is number. Whatever the number user has entered is going to be the starting point, and the loop ending point is 1. So while number is greater than equal to 1, we want to repeat this loop until this condition is true. So product is equal to product multiplied by I, and I minus minus. Now I minus minus will decrease the value. We have learned this in the operators, increment and decrement operators. So now I will print the value, and factorial is equal to PRO. So let's see this output. Let's check whether the output is correct or not. So if I will enter 6, nothing has been printed. And why it's is happening is because of the condition. I think I is equal to number. So the loop is correct. Number is greater than equal to 1. Let's run this program again. So the output is not being printed. Let's see what's happening there. 1 minute. Um, there, and I will just comment this. And let's see now, is the program giving the right? Okay, I have done with one mistake in the condition. Instead of using I am using number, and I'm not decreasing the value. That is why the output is not being printed. The loop is running and again, but it is not ending because I am decreasing the value of I, but I was using num in the condition. So I have to correct that. I have done that. I've used I here. Now when I will run the program and when I will enter 6, the output is going to be 720. So this is how we can use a program, and the condition is written in the while loop, and until the condition is true, the loop will be executed. Now the mistake that I did in previously was this: num is greater than equal to 0. Now when I will enter the program value, let's suppose 5, there nothing has been printed and the program is still executing. You can see in this here that the CPU number of percentage of all processors, it's still filled, getting filled. Why is this happening? Because the value of number is not changing. I is decreasing in the loop, but we are using num in the condition instead of I. So that is why the loop will never, the condition in the loop will never be false, and the output is going to be nothing because the loop has become an infinite loop. So you'll have to be very careful while writing the conditions in a loop, that the condition should be correct. Otherwise, you might face problems. So this is the correct program. I'm going to run it again, and in this case I will be entering 5, and the output again is going to be, is not correct. Okay, then I change this. Now I think it is going to be correct. So in if I will enter 5, the output should be 120, and it is 120. So now the program is correct. I hope that you have understood the concept of while loop. There is another loop, do while loop, that I will discuss in the upcoming video, and after that we'll be discussing about for loop, sentinel, how to implement sentinel loop in the program, and there is very many other things to come in this series. So kindly subscribe the channel, bookmark this series if you want to learn more about C++, and like and share this video and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.